नमस्ते मेरो नाम चाहिँ ज्योति गुरुङ म अहिले चाहिँ न्युयोर्कमा त्योभन्दा पहिला चाहिँ क्यालिफोर्निया and before that I was in Kudnabari Thapa in Nepal and before that my parents were in Chirang Bhutan so yeah चिराङदेखि हुँदै यहाँनिरसम्म आइपुग्यो I've been part of this group since 2017 so it's been a while. We have done a couple of other performances before. अहिले चाहिँ हामीले मेरो गीत मेरो यात्रा भन्ने performance create गरिरहेको छौँ and we're looking forward to sharing with different communities starting next year in California अनि यहाँनिर पनि we share some of the pieces with our community members. In this performance, we also talk about identity and belonging somewhere. And specifically, I have a piece where I talk about having labels of being a refugee, being Nepali, Bhutani, and Bhutanese, Nepali, American, Kyo Bane. Throughout this storytelling process, I have learned to not only accept my different identities, but I've learned to celebrate it. Being part of this group and storytelling group and just telling my stories feels like coming home and owning my own voices of my ancestors, my community, and sharing with and understanding by myself and what does it mean for our youth and also intergeneration communities and as our community has faced a lot of trauma, we're still digging our history and trying to understand. So having conversation with other folks who are from the community who share similar experiences of displacement and being refugee and just in general finding home and finding belongingness, it feels home having conversation with them, so that's a big part of it and it's just such a joy for us to be able to share with other people and hopefully we get to do that more and more.
Namaste, Mero Rai. I was born in Nepal in 2001. Now I live in Des Moines, Iowa. So this is my actually first year with ARU and so yeah, I was supposed to be part of it a long time ago, but I kind of didn't have time. But this year I made sure that I prioritized this. So this performance means a lot to me and the work that we did over this whole week. In my experience, I have had experience performing, having with dance, do acting and all that stuff, but I never really had this kind of feeling toward what I was doing because what we're doing really connects me to who I am and my ancestors and my families and the struggles that they've been through and being able to just tell the stories of the struggle that my family went through and many people from my community went through and it was a process of learning, healing and educating myself as well as my community. So yeah, I'm just really grateful that I was able to participate in this performance and I'm just excited to see what we can do and how we can tell our stories of our ancestors and yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so before our leadership camp, we met with each other every other week on Saturdays for an hour and a half or two, and kind of did various different kind of activities to kind of understand ourselves and learned about histories and talked about what we were gonna do. And after we got here this week, we stayed together at a cabin and really just we were very vulnerable. We shared what we were comfortable with and what we wanted to share, the stories of ourselves and as well as our families and our community as well. And we kind of just pieced all our stories together and created this piece. So which happened in just 1 week. So I'm really proud of my team for the product that we have came up with. So and I can't wait for everyone to just experience this phenomena. Some of the stories that was personal to me and that I kind of came up with was the stories of trying to fit in, coming to the States at a young age, at 12 years old, and like trying, wanting to fit in this community, in this new land, with new people. So that was, and now where I am today, like I think I reflect on those days, and I tell myself, that I didn't need to change the way I spoke or like the way that I dressed, the way that I talk. And I try to reflect on that in one of my monologues that goes like, I don't want to fit in, I want to fly. So that's kind of my first line that comes up in my monologue, and that kind of just sums up how I feel, and like, from my experience, growing up in a refugee camp. Like I didn't really know much about sexuality, like other than like a heterosexual couple. I have never seen one, and like coming to the States and like learning about my own sexual identity, and like, trying to understand my my past, my ancestors' history, like the struggles that my parents has to go through, those were very unclear to me, and it still is. And this process is kind of for me to learn those history and learn about myself. And I kind of just try to incorporate that as like, we can be community, a loving community, without having this barriers that surrounds us to, be out of what we are. Like I just like, especially with stereotypes when it comes like being a gay man as, as a POC in the United States, living a life as a Asian American gay man in the United States. And just dealing with this generational trauma, trying to break this traumas, and also heal and try to heal my family, my siblings, and my community. So that is a big part of me, and this whole monologue kind of just sums up my hope to belong in this earth without these barriers and these boundaries that without them tying me down, and putting me in this box that I don't want to be in. And yeah. Thank you.
नमस्ते, मेरो नाम प्रतीक चापागाई, म बिर्तामोड झापादेखि। मेरो पुर्ख्यौली गाउँ चाहिँ नाङ्गिन भन्ने एउटा गाउँ पहाड हो, त्यो फिदिम 5 थरमा छ। यहाँ चाहिँ म फिलाडेल्फिया पेन्सिल्भेनियामा बस्छु। I joined this group 2 weeks ago. 2 हप्ता अगाडि मैले लाइक सबैजना मान्छेहरूलाई भेटेँ, अनि लाइक we started this journey. It was really nice, it was really belonging. It felt like I belonged here. I worked on this piece starting this past week, and it was really moving. So creating this piece, it was really interesting because when we started, we did not know what we were doing. सुरुमा हामीले के अरे हाम्रो स्टोरीहरू के छ कस्तो छ त्यो मात्रै हेरिरहेको थियौँ, अनि त्यो स्टोरीबाट हामीले आफ्नो इन्डिभिजुअल स्टोरीहरू सबै कम्बाइन गरेर हामीले एउटा पिस बनाउन ट्राई गऱ्यौँ। त्यसमा हाम्रो नाच्ने, गाउने, कथा भन्ने सबैलाई मिसाएर हामीले सुरुमा आफ्नो स्टोरीहरू लेख्यौँ। त्यसलाई हामी दोहीले, हाम्रो इन्स्ट्रक्टरले, उहाँले सबै लाइक पिसहरू टुगेदर गरेर यो पिस क्रिएट गर्नुभयो। अनि यो पिस चाहिँ वाज रियली मुभिङ बिकज इट वाज नट जस्ट माई स्टोरी, लाइक आई कुड रिलेट विथ समबडी एल्सेस स्टोरी। अरू कसैको स्टोरीहरू लाइक आफ्टर हियरिङ द्याट इट्स लाइक आई कुड सो रिलेट टु द्याट, लाइक मेरो पनि यस्तै भएको थियो है भनेर आई कुड रिमेम्बर दोज मोमेन्ट्स। आई वाज रेमिनिसिङ एट सम पोइन्ट, एन्ड लाइक देयर वर अ लट अफ इमोसन्स इन्भल्भड, सुखको दुःखको, लाइक वी टक्ड अबाउट अ लट। So this piece, it was very emotional, it was very moving, and it was an amazing experience.
Hello, namaste सबैजनालाई। मेरो नाम पारस महर्जन। I was born and raised in Lalitpur, Patan, Nepal, and I have been living in the United States since 2007. I was in Missouri and Louisiana, and I have been living in California, Oakland, since 2012. Process has been very healing and enlightening. It has been so much more than what I initially expected when I started about a couple of years ago. And I've been learning so much about different stories and different histories of our ancestors that we all carry, and how important they are to be explored and shared. So working with a community who work so passionately and share similar values has helped me express and expand into my own creative horizons, and pull me into my own community stories that I feel like have not been explored much and has been comprehended enough and relayed. I hope this project has helped me take a really deep dive into my own community stories and learn more, and hopefully ignite some enthusiasm amongst younger folks, so we don't forget and have a clearer picture of who we are and where we are from. So thank you.
मेरो गीत, मेरो यात्रा, मेरो जीवन, मेरो कथा, मेरो गीत, मेरो यात्रा, मेरो जीवन, मेरो कथा, कहाँदेखि कहाँसम्म सम्झिएर खोला बगर, कहाँ कहाँ गयौँ हामी आफ्नै गाउँ घर खोजी। मेरो गीत, मेरो यात्रा, मेरो जीवन, मेरो कथा, मेरो गीत, मेरो गीत, मेरो यात्रा।